if you're on the journey of building wealth, coming out of poverty, and basically just trying to make it in Kenya, in Africa, or in one of these developing economies, then here is a quick tip for you. This is a framework of how I've started to think about the journey of wealth creation. And it's something that I think is relevant to many of us in the developing economies, especially around Africa. These are 3 steps that you just have to take if you're going to make it out of poverty or build wealth in a timely manner. Yeah, in a timely manner. So the first step is a reliable primary source of income. That is the first step, a reliable primary source of income. And for most of us, that will be a job. So I know, like in the, business and financial circles, there's this attitude, there's this kind of fringe attitude that, you can never get rich on your salary, and a job is like, there's this kind of attitude against jobs. But the truth of the matter is, a job is a very important part of building wealth because it gives you that stability, that primary source of sustenance. And your job basically has 2 jobs. Your job has 2 tasks. Number 1, your job's first task is to pay your bills, to keep you alive, to keep you fed, and to keep you functioning, to give you that stability in the world. Your job's second task is to provide capital for the next steps of your wealth building journey. You need to be in a job that is able to do those 2 tasks. And if you're in a job that maybe your salary is too low and you're not able to pay your bills and also have some extra money for capital, then you need to be really, really focusing on step 1 of building that primary source of income up. That basically means you need to be building your skills. You need to be improving yourself to the point where you actually can qualify and position yourself in a better job that will pay your bills and also give you that extra capital. There is no way that you're going to build wealth without getting this step 1 down. I understand that it's a tough job market. For most of us, many people have been searching for work, and there's a crisis out there. Let's say there's an unemployment crisis. At least I know in Kenya, a lot of people are struggling with this particular part. But that doesn't exempt us. Like, there's no way you're going to build wealth and come out of poverty until you establish that primary source of income. So that should be your entire focus. It might not be like a formal job. It might be something else. In fact, it might blend with number 2. I'm going to come to number 2. But it might be a hustle or a gig or something, but you cannot stay without a reliable and stable source of income that is able to pay your bills and also give you that extra capital for the next step. The next step is going to be your secondary source of income. For most of us, this is going to be a business/side hustle type of thing. So you have your primary source. It's giving you your basic sustenance. It's keeping you alive. It's keeping you fed. But as we all know, in this our economies, vitu kwa ground, vindu vichenjanga. Things can change and change fast. So it's very advisable, as you're building wealth, you must have a backup. You must have a secondary source of income, something extra. And again, I know that not all of us are business develop. What do you call it? Business founders and entrepreneurs. Not all of us have that. I fully understand that. But either way, there is no exemption. You must figure out a secondary source of income. If business like starting a butchery or a salon or a pharmacy, if that's not your thing, then you should leverage the skills that are working in your primary source of income. Leverage those to earn extra on the side, like as a side, maybe a consultancy or something like that as a side hustle, to allow you to have that extra. Now, this gives you extra capital to put into the next step. Step 1 and step 2, your primary and your secondary source of income, whether it's your job and your business or whatever shape that will take. For many people, if you're not formally employed, then these steps will be kind of one and the same, maybe, depending on how things are set up. But those are going to be active forms of income. You must be there. You must be active. You must shed your blood, sweat, and tears to get that money. But the journey to wealth needs a third step. The third step is investing. You must learn to get that capital that you have earned actively and put it into a place where you will earn passive income. Without passive income and reliable, strong passive income, then you're not yet even close to coming to build your own wealth and get out of poverty. So that's the whole 3-step framework. You must have a primary source of income and then a secondary source. And the third step, I think, is where there's the most, the least education out there. I know for me, like for me growing up and where I come from, there's a very clear path to the first step, like to the job especially. It's a very clear path. Work hard in school, get good grades, go to university, and then you get a job. That path, we know it very familiar, as much as it's very difficult nowadays, but we're very familiar with that path. Second path for me also, I saw it everywhere, especially, in Kenya, in Nairobi, there's micro business everywhere. There is mama mboga, like groceries. There are butcheries and salons and barber shops, and all these things are all around us. So we see micro business and we kind of get an idea of how it works. But for me, where I come from, I did not see anything about investing. Trust me, I had no clue. I had no clue about nothing about investing until I was like fully adult, fully, working for some years. Then I came to discover this whole other different world where people are making money passively. And I suspect that's the case for many of us. So trust me, I never even connected anything about the stock market and all these things. It was never, visible to me until much later as an adult. So now is when I'm scrambling, like trying to learn about these things, trying to figure out about passive income. But that is there's no excuse, there's no exemption. You must, if you're going to build wealth, if you're going to really, really get yourself and your family out of poverty, that third step is a must. You must figure out how to turn your active income into passive income. So that's a 3-step framework. That's how I'm thinking about my journey personally and my family's journey as well. Is just going through those 3 steps. In case nobody taught you about money, this is a safe space for us to come together, learn, and kind of figure this thing out together. So thanks for watching. My name is Loy, and I'll see you on the next one.